Hello, welcome to the channel. Today, basically, we're going to talk about some, well, there's always something going on. Okay, there's always something. No matter what we're gonna face in life, where we have, I'm just gonna talk about what's happening. War is basically a negative feeling. War is because I don't know who's starting it. Like I don't know any predictions about this, okay? But if it was a prediction that whoever was doing war, I'm gonna say this. Maybe maybe Russia probably started the war, and then Ukraine would be would be trying to run away. I'm not gonna do anything. Please run. Please run. But there's always something going on. There's always something. Matter that we're gonna face in life is there's always something. There's always no matter what we're gonna face, no matter what it is, because negative can just go and go and go and go and go. You know, it's just how it is at the moment. Like that's why there's a question that I have on the poll. It's like who's going to win the war? Is it going to be Ukraine or Russia? There's a yes or no, right? If you hit yes, it's 100%. If you hit no, it's 100%. You know, but this is how I'm trying to understand what's happening around this because there's always a left and right situation. There's always something going on. No matter that we can face something, and in order to achieve it, there's something going on. Because let's face the facts here that who started the war, who created the war, who does chaos. We know exactly what's happening. And that's why it seems to be that whoever is going on, like what's happening with the Ukraine and Russia war or whatever it is, it's like we have to believe in ourselves that I really hope that you know um, Ukraine should surrender and or not only that, let Russia surrender, which means like wave the white flag and say, okay, we're gonna surrender, you know. And if you know what surrender is very you're surrendering the fight. You're surrendering who's gonna win. You know, that's why I'm doing this beautiful live video because if my viewers are wanting to talk and answer, you can give me one answer, one question, and I'll give you an answer. So just remember how this kind of resonates to all of you. Like, you know, um, because we have to believe that everything seems to be good. It doesn't matter that we're going to face something in life or we're going to do something, whatever it is, right? You just have to under joy of what's happening. You know. But anyway, the point being is that we have to believe that we can do this. I know it seems to be scary for all of those people who are suffering and don't know what to do. And I know it is sad, and you know, when you lose a life or something like that, it's saddening too. And I know it feels like there like what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to give you a visionary speech, and I know it is, and I know it's very very significant. It's very almost like um, a subtitle, which means it's very fragile. You know, it's almost like unbreakable. You know, you have to understand that everything seems to be well equipped, which means you have your own environment. You only have your own equipment. Um, but what I'm trying to say is because this is why I'm trying to think of what's happening between, Ukraine versus Russia, you know, like Ukraine and Russia. Those are the two. We have to face our own sanctuary, like a different environment. Um, we have to understand that we have to make a difference. We have to have that motivation skill saying, how can we stop this? How can we, right? But let's not face the facts. Let's just, watch, like, for example, like, watch the news and see what's happening. Even if it's, are they going to win the war? Are they not going to win the war? Are they going to surrender? Or are they just going to, you know, fighting like dogs and cats? Really, no. But the point being is that, like, it's just how it is at the moment. It's we have to understand about like what's like why chaos is going around, why there's always stuff that's happening, right? But anyway, it's this is how it seems to be that everything is trying to be possible and make it impossible. Like as I'm going to say this because I'm going to try to read you some information. Like I'm going to give you the oracle card readings. One of the readings that represents what we're going what this this war is, what we're going to understand what's happening. And I know if you were asking me a question saying why are you using oracle cards, why you're gonna, well, because I'm going to explain this to you. I'm going to explain about my area, my into not, well, I'm going to say intuition, my own gut feelings or something like that. But this is how it is at the moment. This is how it is, right? You're trying to find something to in order to negotiate. You need to have recommends. We have to understand about this, right? And that's how we're going to do. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the description box below. And around the world, this video will be uploaded. Um, so if it's a live video now, it's supposed to be okay at midnight. It's gonna be on my channel, so just remember to watch it previously and understand. Okay, so this is what's happening, and I hope that you will enjoy this. So here we go. Here we go for this inspiration reading. What's happening with maybe the war or something? What's happening? Right? We're going to pick a card, and we're going to figure out something. We're going to figure something out. So one more shuffle, and then we're going to do this. All right, so we're going to do one card. So we have Quieting the mind. Okay, so quieting the mind. Quieting the mind is where basically, well, before I explain that card, quieting the mind is like thinking about positive, exactly how it is. You are trying to think of what's right and not what's wrong. But the wrong doing is having a war. It's a wrongdoing to do that, right? When I think about between Ukraine versus Russia, Russia's trying to get back to their own. They want to take Ukraine out of the question. They want to take the Ukraine out. But Ukraine is saying to Russia, saying, no, 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 no. I have my own thing. I have my own rights. I want to do whatever I want. I want to keep my country, whatever it is. They are saying that. Now, that's why I'm saying who's they, because they is Ukraine, right? That's what they are doing. Who is doing the war is Russia. Russia is trying to go back, trying to take its own area, right? It's whatever. What I'm trying to say is this is how it's trying to understand what's happening. I know it's very significant. It's very bamboozled, whatever it is, but it's very significant. It's how it is at the moment. It is, you know. So anyway, further ado, I'm gonna read this quieting the mind. Let me try to put this down for you here. So let's see. Let's see what we have. So let's see. Hmm. Quieting the mind. It says, okay, so key concepts, and then we're going to read from here all the way to the next page, and then that's what it is. Key conceptions of quieting the mind. It says meditation as a commitment, the need for silence, peace within despite chaotic outer conditions, letting go of the monkey mind and mindfulness. So it says life is chaotic, busy, loud, frenetic, and overwhelming. Some days all that noise is like the roar of thunder, echoing around you, and it feels as if you're being pummeled by a raining storm. Is not is not isn't this why we take vacations to get away to somewhere peaceful? In spite of the surrounding din of the world, today you need to slow down and find a bit of peace. So go ahead, take a deep breath right now. Make a commitment to be still, if only for 5 minutes. Count your breaths. Be mindful of every one of them. Know that you have all the time in the world to do the things that need doing. Everything is perfect as it is. Our our core beliefs about the world originate in in our thoughts and feelings, which then become our perceptions. If our thoughts are all over the place, that's why we still experience the outer world. But what if the outer world didn't matter at all? What if at our center there were a place where it's always calm, where the mind doesn't have a million he has things to say, where, where problems and challenges aren't nearly as important as we think they are. Today requires you to take an internal break. Go to that silenced place to regroup. Meditate on the stillness within. Choose peaceful mind and nothing else. You'll be amazed by how easily everything falls into place once you do. So that's how it is. It means that it almost means that almost like taking a vacation. But let's not do that. Let's not take a vacation to Ukraine, Russia, or no. Take other take the other 93 countries instead of the 95 countries, which means the two countries are out of order. Okay, now now Russia and Ukraine, because they're not getting along right now, as you can see on the news and everything else. This is why that I'm trying to describe or trying to think of a way of what's happening. I know it seems to be it's very significant, it's very different, it's very, yeah, very different. But how can we do that? How can we negotiate instead of having a debate, or not having debate or negotiate, but agree in order to disagree? Like to shake hands together and say, okay, we got this. Okay, we're going to do that. Like my hand to this hand and then shake like this, right? You have to you have to agree in order to disagree. Like what's the use about going from Russia to Ukraine and then Ukraine against Russia? Like what's the use of that? Like what's the use? This is why I'm trying to understand what's happening. It's true. I know that there's more to this reading. I know it like more information, but I just don't understand it. It's like I do understand, but I don't get it. Where there's always debates, there's always problems, there's always chaos, there's always war. There's like a kibosh, which means everything is smacked together like that. Well, I'll keep going. You can ask me one question if you want to. But you know what? You have to quieting the mind, which means that while you're having quieting the mind, where you have to think positive. War is like a negative feeling. War is just incredibly chaotic. Chaos. It's not fragile. It's not. Because it's bad. Really bad. But how do we fix it? How do we how do we fix it? You know? You just have to understand on what I'm trying to say to you. Let's see. illustrations. There's more. I'm trying to say. Uh, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. I'm going to do this one for you to figure that one out. Because I'm trying to do it in oracle form. Get it? Oracle form? Yeah. Which means I'm trying to think of what's happening here. Because we're trying to figure this out. So, further ado, let's get started. What's the opposite of quieting the mind for 32? Is there anything that's going on between Ukraine and Russia? Any card that I could try to say as a little, almost a tiny bit of a story, but not really a story. Some kind of interesting situation here. The Whale Watcher. That's not bad. We're going to do that. So let's take a an interesting reading. So uh, let's see. Okay, so this card that I just said, the Whale Watcher. It says wisdom, power of the divine. It says so. The alley that I'm going to read, and then what it says about the challenger, and this is gonna be good. And remember, if you want to ask one question, go ahead and I'll answer it for you. All right, it says the Whale Watcher signals the need to go within to contemplate the true source of power in the world, which he reminds you is that of the divine. This is a message to let you know that you're being called to the well, and this unseen power will be yours to align with. This affirmation and prayer will invite the divine to bring miracles and resolution to your life. Thy will be done through me for the highest good of all and for the true manifestation of my purpose. You will know the way forward by the still, small voice within. The divine also may answer your call by sending others to help guide you. Challenger, it says, the well watcher comes to let you know that you have run out of steam. Self-will alone isn't enough to make things happen. All cannot be yours at this time. If you feel you're going nowhere, it's because you're meant to stay put. Illness can lead to your becoming like the bull in a china shop, creating havoc havoc as you push forward. Remember the sacred, creative source of the water in the well. Drink some, be still, contemplate the true origin of power. It isn't you, so drink deeply of the wisdom of the divine. Listen to the beautiful music playing through your life. When you have made conscious contact with your higher power, You can move forward again, replenished and renewed. This is also an important time to restore harmony in your relationship, since you may be temporarily out of tune with another. If there is a power struggle between you, remember that only divine has true power. You won't feel the need to struggle anymore. So it means that if we have wisdom, power of the divine, if we look at if I always give myself example, but I'm going to give all of you an example. My example is when we have divine power, the wisdom, the power of the divine, we have to look positive. Exactly what we're going to do. Okay, we have to sit back and wait. Sit back and wait for the war to end. But in the way that I'm saying this, look at the news lately, and it keeps repeating until they get new information. It doesn't mean that we do this in our own circumstances, but we have to face our own originality, a different perspective. When I like understand what's happening, I have to look at things a different way. Which means that we just have to quieting the mind that I just read to you. And the wisdom power of the divine. We have to reorganize of what's happening. The war is becoming like two countries right now. Which means one country after that another country going after the other one. Now, obviously, obviously that kind of is very intense because a lot of other viewers watching that as well, and it's very like you have to agree in order to disagree, but they are disagreeing instead of agreeing, right? Which means when I look at they, Ukraine, Ukraine is like saying to Russia, saying, I want to disagree with you. I want to make my own right to get back to you. Russia, for example, is trying to go back where things were way back when, long ago, because they want to take back their own power, their own area, their own way. But you can see that what I'm saying about long ago, right? You have to face your own your own ability to win the war instead of losing the war. It always reminds me about the roulette wheel. You have black and you have red. If you put your if you pretend to put your money on the red and you think, oh, it's going to be red 3, you miss it, and it's gonna be like black 10, and then you just lost. If you bet black and you win on black, then your money will go back to you. Exactly the same. Exactly, you have to compare and contrast. That's what I'm doing. Because I'm comparing a roulette wheel and then comparing what the two countries are fighting about. Fighting the two who are not getting along. That's why this video that I'm saying to all my viewers out there, it is very, very significant. It's a pain in the butt, really. It is the pain in the behind. But you have to understand what's happening, you know. And like I always say, things will change. Who knows? It could be like a prediction could be from, I don't know how to put this. But it will be like maybe 7 weeks and 1 day. Maybe, I don't know. But let's estimate that. That's like almost the end of March, almost. Like the March month, not actually marching, you know what I mean. But that's how it is at the moment. That's how that's how you have to see things in my way, my different way. But that's how it is at the moment. Any questions? No questions? Okay. Anyway, back to what I'm saying is that this is how it is at the moment. It just they need to eliminate, which means they need to end the war somehow. But how? How will you end the war? You know how? Will it take months? Will it be taking days, weeks, maybe half of a year, whatever it would be? I don't know. But you have to understand that no matter that all of us face in our own different settings of countries and lives and everything else, we need to have wisdom and power of the divine. And then looking at the quieting the mind as well. Like think about the positive, not the negative. War is like a negativity. War can get to a lot of people that are different in different wrongs and different rights and different. No, 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 he's gonna do this. No, 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 he's gonna do that. That's my acting anyway. But that's how it is at the moment. That's how it is. It's very junated. It's very different. No matter how how we are facing and how we are trying to understand and imposing the situation. I don't know. I I I don't know. I just need to. I don't know what to say. I just really hope that the war will end. And I just need to understand, like, Who's gonna win the war? Who's gonna fail? Who's gonna lose so many soldiers? I have no understanding there. Like this seems a very good, interesting, almost a reading down here that you were seeing earlier. But how we are gonna face it? How we're gonna face the? I don't know what to say. How do we face it? How how we can understand what's happening? You know, um, I know it's very significant that the readings that I'm doing is very different, but I just don't know what to say anymore. The only thing that I'm going to do something again is how I'll do one card that maybe represents this. I'll do one card that represents this in a different way. It is. I know that this is a almost like one card that represents a reading here, but I know it's kind of is. So let's see what's happening. Let's just do one card that represents that. And I'll do one card. The Ten of Wands. I'm only going to do one card that represents this. Okay, so the Ten of Wands. This is like fire energy. All right, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. I know I should. It's not supposed to be clipped in this video, but this is how it is. It's fire sign. It's a fire. Fire can be, yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying about war. War is like fire. Fire is, yeah. But anyway, the point being is that what I'm trying to say is that this is how it is at the moment. This is how I can understand how it is at the moment. So I'll read you one card that represents that, which it says, so you can understand. You're taking on extra burdens, workloads, and responsibility. You know it is only temporary, so you're willing to put in the hard work now to accomplish your goal and reap the rewards later. Exactly. Exactly how you're accomplishing the uh, accomplishing your quest, and then you have to. So you know what I mean about quest. Quest is like you're gonna be on a quest to, let's say, pretend that you're digging up treasure. Well, you have to go from a map. You have to go from a map to go all the way to the X. When you get to the X, you dig and you find the treasure. Well, exactly what I'm going to say about the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands represents that you have to accomplish something in order to complete it. Now, exactly about war, right? You have to accomplish about winning the war, not like, having losing bad victory and you're not winning, you're going to lose. Well, if you look at the Ten of Wands, exactly how it is, exactly how I'm trying to say it to you all. Because right now, when I look at the quieting the mind, the well watcher, wisdom, power of the divine, and then you have the Ten of Wands. It almost is like almost a centerpiece of like exactly like a story, but it's not. It's really not. What I'm trying to explain to all of you, this is how it kind of is at the moment. It seems to be that everything will be eventually almost like disorder oriented, which means that everything is disorganized. Like you're not putting stuff away, you're leaving it on the floor, you're not putting it back on the shelf, whatever it is, you're disorganized. That's what war is almost like what I'm trying to say in that image. It's organized at the moment. It's disorganized because every single troop that they have, like if they have 100,000 troops, like soldiers from Russia, and then 100,000, uh, let's say, for Ukraine, for those troops. This is how it is, okay? When I look at this in a different way, we have left, middle, and right? This is how it is. These two are good. This is just a different one, okay? Now, that's just how I'm trying to describe this to you. What the wars may be doing in my own image, my own way of thinking. This is how it is at the moment. We have to think about quieting the mind. Think of it as you're in a box, you're trying to get out. You are trying to have wisdom and power divine. So you have wisdom. You have to think in your own mind and saying, okay, we got this. Now you have the Ten of Wands to say you have accomplished. You have accomplished your goal. You have to complete that task and get a reward later. You know, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You have to understand that this, and this almost like go together, but only different. Exactly how it is at the moment. Exactly how, right? Exactly. That's how it is at the moment. That's what it yeah, it's just how it is at the moment. It's just how. I know. But anyway, I have to do something and I'll be back. Just remember what I said about all this. Anyway, sorry for that. But anyway, back to my own skit, my own yeah. We have to understand about what's happening right now. we have to brace of what's right, what's wrong, what's happening. So that's how it is at the moment. Um, but before I let you go, there's something you must learn from this video. Keep in mind about you can watch what's happening from the news about what's happening between Ukraine versus Russia, Russia versus Ukraine. But just remember how I say it. They have to accomplish who's going to win, who's going to, right? Exactly. Because if all of us were cheering on, let's say, Ukraine and not Russia, who knows? Ukraine could win and Russia could be surrendering. You don't know that for a fact. You don't know that. Because exactly, right? It's almost like a bidding war, but it's not. You're not bidding, you're not no. So that's how it is at the moment. So anyway, in next later on I'll do another live video. Next later on maybe I don't I'll decide what I'm gonna do next. But that's how it is at the moment. That's how it is at the moment. So just remember what I'm gonna say. Um, and believe in what I'm going to say now. And thank you very much, and have a good day to you all.